Hello, welcome to Critical Joke Theory with your host, G.D. Fenderson, Certified Forensic Humorist. Now with new joke technology. Hi, I'm G.D. Fenderson, Certified Forensic Humorist at large, but I'm losing weight. Welcome to Critical Joke Theory, episode 69. Now with new joke technology and open captioned for the humor impaired. Democratic Representative Bill Pascrell, seen here wearing his F MAGA hat, whose career in rough and tumble New Jersey politics spanned 4 decades, and who in his later years became known for his sharp barbs against Donald Trump, died Wednesday. He was 87. Pascrell was a feisty octogenarian. Okay, he could be fisty, shaking his fist at the Republicans. Get off of my legislation! Pascrell was in his 14th term and was the second oldest House member, behind only retiring Representative Grace Napolitano, a Democrat from California. The oldest member of Congress is Senator Chuck Grassley, Republican from Iowa, who turns 91 on September 17th. Grassley calls Mitch McConnell kid, calls Biden young blood, and refers to black lawmakers as the colored caucus. Rest in peace, Pascrell. Wherever you're going, it has to smell better than New Jersey. Phil Donahue, who flipped the script for daytime television by tackling controversial issues in front of a live audience, has died following a long illness, his family announced in a statement on Monday. Long illness is the second leading killer of celebrities after undisclosed disease. It's time that we found a cure. He was 88. Donahue died Sunday night at home, surrounded by his family and loved ones. Again with the loved ones. Will no one heed my warnings? Suspects include his wife of 44 years, Marlo Thomas. Yeah, that girl. His sister, his children, grandchildren, and his beloved golden retriever, Charlie. I'm sorry to call them suspects, but they were the last ones to see him alive. Phil Donahue was fired from MSNBC back in the day for airing anti-Iraq war views. Rest in peace, Phil. You finally beat Oprah at something. Perry Kurtz, a Los Angeles comedian who appeared on season 8 of America's Got Talent, as well as on Late Late Show with James Corden, has died in a hit-and-run collision. He was 73. Perry Kurtz was a friend of mine and of so many other comedians. I had the pleasure of interviewing him for 3 hours on my other show, Done Way Past Funny. He told me one particular story about how Perry was the reason that Robin Williams began to wear suspenders. He had a particular routine that I thought was simply brilliant. This picture here is a very bad picture, but it was a picture that I got off of a video that he sent me, and the video is from like the 1980s. Yeah, he's been a comedian for a very long time. He was still working as a comedian at the time of his death, and in fact, he was booked for a gig. Rest in peace, Perry. We will miss you on karaoke night. And to the people that booked Perry, call me. Former Representative George Santos, Republican of New York, seen here reading from a little thing that he wrote called the Bible, pleaded guilty Monday to wire fraud and aggravated identity theft, allowing the ousted lawmaker to avoid a federal trial over allegations that have followed him for nearly 2 years and led to him being only the 6th person in history to be expelled from the House. When reached for comment, Kitara Ravaj said, "Why did I have to leave Congress? I didn't do anything wrong. Besides, I just started a relationship with one of the Family Values Caucus members. And what a member." Santos, 36, has agreed to pay restitution of at least $373,749.97, according to CBS News. That's a lot of cameo gigs. The ousted lawmaker pleaded not guilty to 13 federal charges, including wire fraud, money laundering, and falsifying financial statements, last May. And Santos was indicted on 10 additional charges in October for allegedly stealing donor identities and financial information. Santos's sentencing is scheduled for February 7th. He could possibly get up to 12 years. This will give him time to work on his next novel, 12 Years a Slave. He is likely to get 6 to 8, although the average man is 5.17, erect, across all races. Way to bring us down. You know who you are. As a result of a decision from the 7th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, Illinois election officials can continue to count mail-in ballots for up to 2 weeks after an election, so long as they are postmarked or certified by Election Day. The court should have added, but you won't accept the loss anyway, so why are we even here? The Seventh Circuit's ruling affirms a Trump-appointed judge's previous dismissal of a lawsuit from GOP Congressman Michael Boust and Republican voters who sought to invalidate Illinois post-election ballot receipt deadline. Quote, because plaintiffs have not alleged an adequate injury, we agree that they lack standing to bring this suit, blah, 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 blah. The jizz is that the GOP keeps trying to find more ways to count less votes. If they spent as much time developing a good platform as they do in court, they could have more votes. Somebody had to say it. Arizonans will be able to vote in November on whether to put a right to abortion in the state constitution. In an order late Tuesday, the Arizona Supreme Court rejected arguments by Arizona Right to Life that a description of the key provisions in Proposition 139, which was attached to petitions, misled people into signing the initiative. The group argued the description was legally flawed because it failed to detail the impact approval would have on all existing abortion laws or regulations. Legally flawed is the GOP safe word. Chief Justice Ann Scott Timmer wrote in the unanimous decision, quote, a reasonable person would necessarily understand that existing laws that fail the prescribed test would be invalid rather than continue in effect, close quote. Then again, a reasonable person would respect other people's rights. Okay, reasonable Arizonans, here's your chance. Go vote. Independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said on Friday he would suspend his campaign and endorse Republican Donald Trump, likely ending a presidential bid that he began as a Democrat trading on one of the most famous names in American politics. Winfrey? Oh, never mind. Kennedy. Okay, Kennedy. Got it. This announcement has left RFK Jr. supporters checking themselves for earworms. His campaign indicated that he feared staying in the race would siphon support from former President Trump, who is locked in a tight contest with Democratic Vice President Kamala Harris ahead of the November 5th election. For a former environmentalist, he sure does blow a lot of smoke up your ass. The former Democrat, however, is in the process of removing his name from the ballot in battleground states to avoid acting as a spoiler for Trump. Exiled Kennedy Jr. is spoiling the notion that he was ever an independent. Like the old saying goes, like attracts like. Weird, huh? And finally, a new presidential candidate, a slew of celebrities, bumping music by artists that aren't suing and sending cease and desist letters, families that enjoy being together and don't look like they're in a hostage video, Republican endorsements, a D.L. Hughley public apology, and slick programming helped propel Democrats and Vice President Kamala Harris to a ratings win at this week's Democratic National Convention, surpassing the television viewership of last month's Republican gathering. Viewership of the four-day festivities in Chicago drew an average of 21.8 million viewers, according to Nielsen data, eclipsing the audience of the Republican National Convention by nearly 15%. The GOP numbers could have been larger, except Trump's speech went on 90 minutes too long, giving people time to find their remotes and change their channels. Catch-up sales have rocketed due to Trump's frustration from dropping in the polls, losing the ratings battle, his crowd size envy, and she's black and a woman. I do not like to kick a man when he's down, but Trump is not acting like a man. He's acting like a kid. Fuck them, kid. At least Trump got that coveted RFK Jr. endorsement. I'm GD Fenderson, certified forensic humorist, now with new joke technology. Thank you for watching Critical Joke Theory. If you enjoyed it, please like and share it. And please check out Done Way Past Funny on YouTube, Knob TV, and Spark TV. Also watch The Church of Last Resort streaming live on Sundays on YouTube at 9 a.m. Eastern. Be safe out there and don't feed the crazies. Critical Joke Theory with your host, GD Fenderson, certified forensic humorist. Now with new joke technology.